Right. I'm Shannon McPhee, VP of Communications at Primary Data, and we're very excited to be able to speak with you all today about what we've been up to. We consider it a real privilege to be able to interact with all of you at Storage Field Day, and thank you very much for being a part of this with us. We're going to go through quickly our agenda, and I'm going to give you just one slide of company background. Hopefully that's all the details you'll need. We're going to cover the who, how, and why of Primary Data, and what, of course, with David Flynn walking us through a whiteboard session to get to the technical details. Our CEO will kick us off first with covering what we're up to at Primary Data. Why are we attacking this problem? We know that this might be a little more details than you guys might want to go through before getting to the technicals, but we promise we'll get there quickly so that all those watching online can follow along with us. We'll have David do a whiteboard session, as I said, and then cover a user experience preview of what you can expect from our product as we reach GA later this year. And then our SVP of Sales, Casey Lai, will come up and talk to us about what our customers have been telling us about Primary Data so far. And as Steven said, you can follow us on Twitter, primary_data. So we were founded in August 2013, and we exited stealth last November. We have approximately $60 million in venture funding so far. We were led by Excel, and we do have strategic investment by Micron and Dell. Our executive team includes our CEO, Lance Smith, who'll be speaking to you momentarily, our CTO, David Flynn, and our CMO, Rick White, and of course, our chief scientist, Steve Wozniak, and you may recognize these names from Fusion.io. We're headquartered nearby in Los Altos. We have development offices around the world. We have about 80 employees right now. We have many patents, and our engineers have actually contributed over 1,000 contributions to the Linux kernel so far. And we'll be expecting to ship later this year, and we're excited to show you guys a preview of what we've been up to so far today. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Lance and have him walk us through the intro.
Thank you so much, Shannon. Thanks so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Lance Smith. I am the CEO of Primary Data. It's a real pleasure to be here and actually have the opportunity to talk about our products and technology. As Shannon mentioned in our agenda, we plan on taking a very deep technical dive on the architecture. David Flynn, our CTO, will spend a great deal of time, a majority of the time, going through our architecture and answering any questions that you may have. And we also plan on showing a small demo so you can actually see from a customer's perspective precisely how our product operates and really what its value and its power is. From there, Casey will talk about the view from the customer's perspective. Well, we've have some really good interactions with targeted customers, and they actually have found very interesting uses for this technology. Now, before we get started, and really for those that are watching the video, and for those that are not as technical as the audience in this room, we'd like to give a real simple analogy, one that really speaks to the technology itself in layman's terms. Now let's get started. On a real-world example, something that's very tangible, something that affects our lives every day, the items that we possess, the things that we store in our own household. Now this is a wide range of things that sometimes we keep close to us that we use ordinarily every day. Maybe it's a kitchen utensil, a hairbrush, a toothbrush, or toothpaste. And then there's those items that are seasonal, that we maybe use once a year, or maybe over 1 month of the year. And then there's those items that are keepsakes, things that we want to keep, but we really don't have room for. I can bet everyone in this room has either a garage, a closet, or even a couple of closets that's filled with stuff. Even that drawer that hides, lurks in the kitchen, where you have just the random amount of stuff that's put there. At some point, we've got a full garage and we have to make a decision. Do we sell it? Do we put it on eBay? Do we put it up for sale? Or do we donate it? Or do we just throw it away? Well, many of us, by the way, take the opportunity to expand our storage capability. And we look at alternatives. Sometimes those alternatives come in the form of renting an actual location, taking a storage rental location and beginning to fill that up. Now this is a great concept. We've been using it for decades now. It's on-demand capacity. You can grow it. You can rent more space. You can eliminate it if you don't need it anymore. It's somewhat convenient. You can go there when you want to, pretty much 7 days a week. but it's got some issues. Got to get in the car. Takes time. Then you got to go dig through the storage rental, through boxes, and try and find what you're looking for. And then, inevitably, there's those items that are lurking in the back of the storage unit that you forget about. But there's other services. And these are really convenient. These are storage containers that they'll drop off at your house. When you schedule it, you can fill it up. You can keep it temporarily at your house. But then when you finish with it, they can haul it away for long-term storage. Now, it has its disadvantage. You have to schedule it. It can take weeks for you to get the item picked up or dropped off. Now, hopefully this is starting to sound familiar. This is where this analogy applies to what storage IT folks are dealing with every day. But now, let's take it one step further. Imagine you take all these different types of storages, these different types of services. Wouldn't it be incredible if you can combine it into one service? Now think about this. What if, after Thanksgiving, your Christmas accessories, your lights, your ornaments were to show up? Or when the first snowfall of the year, your skis come out of storage and show up to your house? Better yet, you go on vacation. Your luggage shows up at your destination. You didn't have to pack it, and you didn't have to carry it on the plane, or check it, or worry that it was going to be lost. This is precisely our focus and precisely our approach at Primary Data. We are focused on data mobility using data virtualization, but more importantly, we give the opportunity for IT and data centers to take advantage of all different storage types, making us storage agnostic, have accessibility to very fast flash within a server, being able to leverage existing central storage, or being able to leverage the benefits of low cost and almost limited capacity in the cloud. Now here at Primary Data, we are focused on what we term automated data mobility across those storage resources using a technology that we refer to as data virtualization. Now, there's lots of benefits to this, and we'll be talking about these today and how we actually approach that architecturally. Like I said, David will go through those details. He'll answer all your questions on how we actually approach this and how we've made it performant, how we made it transparent, and take advantage of things like flash in the server. We learned over the past years, especially at companies like Fusion.io, when you take flash and a good memory store and put it next to the processor, you can get improved application performance. Huge benefit. We knew it had to do with latency. It also had to do with the usage model. If you can get, let's say, a magnitude order more performance out of that application, IT has options, a full spectrum of options. On one side, they could actually consolidate. They could literally remove 8/10 or 9/10 of their server, their data footprint, and save capital costs and expenditure costs and power. On the other hand, they could take all the benefits of the increased computational capacity and offer new business services and maintain their SLAs. But it continues down at each type of storage element that it's within a data center. If we go all the way to cloud, you now can look at the advantages of cloud beyond the endpoint of HSM or any type of hierarchical or archival functionality. You now can make it part of your data storage services. Now with that, our focus on data virtualization and the possibilities of data virtualization is actually a tool to break through these storage silos that exist today. That's something that we've inherited over the past decades of architectures that originally started way back in the days of the mainframe. So we've learned how to break through those and have the ability to actually move data across all storage elements within a data center, or even a hybrid model. Now, something you've probably heard before, many times. There's a nice article here that we pulled from Computer World. As a matter of fact, there was an interview of Lynn Neal, systems integrator at Sprint. She had a lot of good things to say about virtualization technology, and what we liked here was that she said that virtualization's technology could let users reach across a myriad of storage devices across any vendor. What's terrific about this article, it's over 10 years old. When we looked at these types of opportunities and what we learned in taking advantage of these different dynamic ranges of storage types, we knew that there was an opportunity, and we can make this a reality in today's world, in today's demands. Now, what we've got here, you'll get to see later. We'll be able to show you a demo of how our customers see our product in this single pane view. They can either use this management interface or plugins in their storage management infrastructure. But really what this view here is, it's a total cost of ownership and a return on investment view of what's happening with the data in the data center across all the storage elements. And it gives them the opportunity to highlight where they can make improvements and do one very key thing: improve a data center's economics. The more efficient those data centers are, the more they can actually fit within their budget and offer more services or guarantee their SLAs. And this is the kind of view that we have at Primary Data. Now, as we get closer to this overview, there is a few thoughts that and key points that I'd like you to keep in mind throughout our architectural discussion, throughout our demo, and when we give you a view of our customer base. The first one is dynamic data mobility, something that I began to talk about, putting data in the right place at the right time. Making it agile but policy-driven, such that through a policy you can automate where the data is being placed and dynamically deal with the demands of a business. Having this intelligence so that it happens in real time. One of the problems that IT has today, when they learn about an issue, it's too late. They have to go in this reactive mode to try and recover some type of new demand, not just a failure in a data center, but actually a new demand that would show up that is a missed opportunity for improving their business, improving the number of simultaneous users in their environment. And then looking at existing investments with new investments. We don't suggest only greenfield opportunities or any forklift requirements in putting new technologies in. We're storage agnostic. We use what you have, and we'll give you access to the new storage data types that exist today and in the future. We also like this global compatibility. Being agnostic is very key for us, and being able to fit within an IT's budget. We're not asking them to increase their budget. We're asking them to make better use of their budget and better use of their data centers. If I could leave you with one last point. In Primary Data, it's our view, and what we're trying to set is a direction where we no longer manage storage, we manage data.